Hello, my name is Matthew, and yesterday I received a new book in the mail. It's a book that I had pre-ordered maybe a month ago, and it's the Recognitions by William Gaddis. It's the new NYRB Classics edition, and it's a big, beautiful book. And my initial reaction was just excitement and happy to have it and flip through it and read the back cover and just enjoy it as an object because at the moment I don't know anything about the book hardly or the author. I've never read anything by him, and I've only heard about the Recognitions and William Gaddis only in the past year or two. He's been kind of percolating as this, at least to me, an unknown modernist writer, and that the Recognitions is one of those modernist masterpieces, something that would be in the ranks of Remembrance of Things Past, or maybe Ulysses, or The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann, or The Man Without Qualities by Robert Musil. And in general, I love that gathering of books, those types of new and inventive, strange, um, very modern books. And I, um, I am very excited, and I'm intrigued and interested in all of those things. But my second, almost immediate impression, as soon as the excitement died down, was actually regret or buyer's remorse. And part of that is that maybe 2 weeks ago, I went to one of my favorite new bookshops. It recently now has a new location. It's the Ivy Bookshop in Baltimore. And some of you might already know this, but while I was there, I bought J.R. by William Gaddis. And I bought this while I had already had the Recognitions as a pre-order. So I knew I was getting one of his books. And I know that the reason that I bought J.R., part of it was impulse and just having a compulsive purchase, being in the shopping spirit, and all of those things. The other main consideration was just supporting the local bookshop. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and I wanted to buy something specifically just because I was in the bookshop. But if I had bought either one of these, I probably would have been satisfied and not thought much of it. Having these two gigantic, gigantic books now that I basically know nothing about, I've never read anything by William Gaddis. They're both beasts. These are thoroughly long books, and even though I have big eyes and I'm optimistic, and we have the new year coming up, and I think about all of the books that I want to read and what my reading plans are going to be, and goals and things like that, I also know there's a very high likelihood that now that I have these, there's a chance I won't even read them next year. That could change, but I'm constantly having new things in front of me that I want to read, and either one of these is just an undertaking. And it will be a matter of just reading the first few pages, which I haven't done yet. And it's just not a smart way to be buying books, at least for me. Both of these books were fairly expensive. I try to keep a book budget each month, and they are large and books that I might not be reading anytime soon, and I live in a tiny house, so space is always a consideration. The other aspect of this sort of buyer's remorse feeling is that more and more I've actually been preferring ebooks. Anytime I can, I've been tending towards ebooks with the Magic Mountain that I'm almost finished with, but currently reading. Uh, I checked to see if there was a Kindle edition. There wasn't for the translation that I wanted, but I would have preferred reading that. Next month, when I read the Karamazov brothers, um, again, I went to the Kindle store looking for a specific Karamazov brothers um, Kindle edition. And again, they didn't have my translation that I wanted. But if they did, I would be reading it. And this is the kind of thing that whenever I get to it, I know that I would probably prefer to read it on my ebook. It's not going to be this big clunky thing. It's just going to be the words on the page. So those two considerations combined with both of these books, I'm going to take as a lesson to think about what kind of books that I'm buying and how I'm deciding which physical books I want to have in my tiny house. All of that being said, I'm hopeful, and the goal, of course, is that I'm going to absolutely love these books, and all of my regrets are going to turn out to be just silly worries and things like that. I wanted to read the back cover, and there's a blurb from Don DeLillo, a very well-known, generally well-regarded modern novelist, writer. So this is Don DeLillo's thoughts on the Recognitions by William Gaddis. Don DeLillo. I remember the bookstore, long gone now, on 42nd Street. I stood in the narrow aisle reading the first paragraph of the Recognitions. It was a revelation, a piece of writing with the beauty and texture of a Shakespearean monologue, or, maybe more apt, a work of Renaissance art, impossibly transformed from image to words. And they were the words of a contemporary America. This, to me, was the wonder of it. And so, of course, now we have to read this opening first sentence, this piece of magnificence. And so I'll read the very first sentence of The Recognitions by William Gaddis. We can read it together. So chapter 1 has a title, The First Turn of the Screw, and then an epigraph by Goethe, a piece from Faust II, and then the first sentence. Even Camilla had enjoyed masquerades of the safe sort where the mask may be dropped at that critical moment it presumes itself as reality. But the procession up the foreign hill, bounded by cypress trees, impelled by the monotone chanting of the priest and retarded by hesitations at the 14 stations of the cross, not to speak of the funeral carriage in which she was riding, a white horse-drawn vehicle which resembled a Baroque confectionery stand, might have ruffled the shy countenance of her soul, if it had been discernible. So, I guess I would say that's a pretty good sentence. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's at some point, it's a book that I do want to read, and when I get to it, you'll be one of the first to know about it. But I'm curious. Have you read either of these books, The Recognitions, or J.R., or anything else by William Gaddis? I'm embarrassingly unfamiliar with either of these works or this writer for someone that now is starting to amass a collection of his literary canon. So let me know if you like these books or the author. I'm just curious. So leave a comment if you would like. And thank you for watching, and take care. Bye.